Willkommen bei Thicker Than Blood, dem Heavy Metal Podcast. Georg und Tom, zwei Cousins, eine Leidenschaft. Macht euch bereit für Headbanging, Herzblut und jede Menge Heavy Metal.
It's your favorite metal podcast, Thicker Than Blood. We're talking English again. And you know it, we only do this if we have one of our dear guests. It's Jaakko from Marianas from Finland. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here. Thanks for the invite.
So, Jaakko, you're on tour. We are already talked about it a little bit. And the tour is in Finland. Is that right?
Yeah, we have been doing gigs in here since the release of the Bereaved album in January, and next weekend are the kind of the last gigs on this leg, and then we are off to Europe, to Middle Europe and Germany, Switzerland, Holland, and that sort of stuff. But it's we have more than a month to go until that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. For listeners who might not know you yet, who are you and what do you do in Marianas Rest?
I do the vocals, screaming, bit of singing nowadays as well, and everything in between. The band just kind of we do the kind of slow cooking mellow death metal, and our band is kind of like a democracy, so everybody kind of take part in the composing process and the arranging process. So that way, the kind of the songs, you kind of really connect to them. Everybody does their own part, and we kind of have votes as where to go if we disagree on something. Sometimes we do, but more usually it's kind of like everybody knows where this ship is needed to kind of where we should direct it.
Okay. I would describe you as a Finnish death metal band, maybe some doom metal, a little bit of black metal in there too. How would you describe Marianas Rest in maybe 3 words?
3 words is hard, but a couple more. Indie rock with distortion guitars. Indie music with distortion guitars, or melancholic death metal. Both are kind of okay for people. Music for people who like to cry in the shower.
How did you get into metal? Looking backwards all the years.
I started somewhere during the turn of the millennium. A good friend of mine who actually manages the band nowadays, he just asked me. They had a band project, and their singer had left the band, and I had no musical background. But it sounded like fun, and I started to rehearse, and here we are, like 25 years later, almost.
Nice.
Yeah, one of the best decisions I ever made.
Okay, Jaakko, I hope I pronounced the name more or less correct.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your band's sound and the evolution of the sound. Your music balances heaviness with melody and atmosphere. How do you choose which kind of mix you are doing? How do you choose where to go for melody, where to go for heaviness?
Where the mood, the feel is the strongest, the emotion. Where the emotion is, that's where we are trying to head. It varies from kind of anger to melancholy, to kind of how do you say, blue places. Yeah. And that kind of affects if we go with a more riff-driven thing or more of a melodic approach. And of course, you kind of want to mix it up so you don't kind of always. It's kind of fun to play with the kind of if you think of a melancholic sad song, you immediately kind of some melody starts to play in your head. Well, what if we try to do it with a kind of chugging riff, same thing, and that sort of stuff. That's kind of those kind of things are what we kind of try to think a little bit out of the box. Sometimes it's kind of still cliches are cliches for a very good reason. So you kind of don't want to do something just because it's kind of because you want to do something differently. You always have to have a good reason to do that, to break the rules, so to say. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah. I think you did pretty good. Coming to your influences, which artists, metal or non-metal, have influenced your songwriting?
Well, Paradise Lost has always, and Sentenced have always been a kind of a big thing to me. I heard, kind of got to know the bands in the right age, at the right time, at the right place. So you kind of I had a strong emotional connection with those bands. It kind of stuck with me. And of course, you have a different kind of musical periods where you leave those bands that you started with when you were young, but then they always come back at some point. So those two bands have had a strong influence. And one of the first albums I got when I was, actually it was the first CD I got, was Roxette's Joyride. That's always that's a yeah. You can't do it's you cannot do that kind of music better than they did. It's a kind of flawless album.
Truth be told, that was the first CD that was given to me as a gift when I had my first CD player when I was, I don't know.
And I got it from you, Tom.
10, 12 years or so. So we both had our Roxette past.
Roxette, yeah.
I had to choose. I remember I only had money for one album, and my dad took me to a record store, and I had to choose between one of the User Illusion, Guns N' Roses albums, and Roxette, and I think I did the right choice. It's the best album of those three.
Okay,
nice. So coming to your CD, to your album, The Bereaved, I would describe it as powerful, melodic, melancholic, yet hopeful piece of music. I like it very much, even though I think it's not made for easy listening, you know. You have to be in the mood. Can you describe the difference to your previous records?
We have always, all the records we have done in the past are like, soundtracky. They have their own dramas, the kind of album length dramatic kind of thing going on, and maybe a bit more. Well, actually, I'll take it back. I was about to say that they are maybe more like even more theme albums than this is, but I don't. That's actually not true. This has a strong theme too, but maybe the songs are more like standalone. You can take them out of the album order and play them, and that's what we tried to do, to make them kind of work on their own better than the previous tracks on the previous albums. And we kind of went more like in the more traditional way of making composing songs, at least a bit. On the last album we had like only one chorus on the whole album. And on this album we have a lot more. And it was kind of like we talked about it. We didn't even realize it when we did the previous album. Only afterwards. Have you noticed, guys? We didn't even think about it, and I think it's a good thing. The songs kind of went their own way, as it should be. But on this maybe we should do a bit more on this one. Let's see what happens. And then we went that way. And what it meant was maybe this is probably the most guitar-driven album. Kind of guitar melodies are there are more of those. Well, maybe it's more like vocal stuff. There are more different type of approaches than we actually had to learn a bit to sing in group. We are still kind of in the process, but it's starting to it's going into the right direction, I think.
Realizing what you've written. Okay.
Yeah.
I particularly like the single Diamond in the Rough and Red in the Wall because of the 4 to the floor vibe. Yeah, if you would name it so. And it's kind of doomy but danceable.
Yeah, danceable.
Did you hear that?
That's a good kind of. That's how the band danceable do. Yes.
So you didn't hear this before. You haven't heard this. But am I totally wrong about this?
No, I think that sounds good. I think you're on the right track.
Going in the direction what you meant.
Yeah. That's well, actually, that song was. You always have doubts when you make new music, and this was kind of like, is this, our band, and it's too much, like Melodeath vibe, but then we'll just let's not think about like that. Just do it, and eventually we kind of thought that it would sound like us, and it did. I think it turned out.
Do you develop the songs as a band, together as a band, or do someone bring it?
Well, somebody always brings the kind of the first demo, but in our case, it's like it can be just one riff or just some thoughts thrown together, like really raw stuff, or it can be like a better demo that sounds more ready. But usually, kind of, it's not time well spent, because we always kind of tear them apart and try to kind of figure out what's the kind of the the thing we need to follow. It can be one riff or one melody or anything. And
but music comes first, not the lyrics.
Yeah, music comes first. Well, not always. Sometimes it can be kind of. I don't write the kind of the actual lyrics before the song, but we do kind of talk about the theming and what this song is going to be about. So that can kind of affect the composing process quite a bit. And I remember on this album, there's this song called "The Color of You," and Nick, one of the Nikos, we have 3 Nikos in the band. The guitarist Niko, he was kind of going through the phase where he kind of tried to figure out what this song is about, and then we talked about it. I had some lines ready, and he was like, "All right," and then it's like. It was easy after that. It kind of started to make a love song. So that's that. So it can go both ways.
And it's the happy ending of the album.
Yeah.
Okay. You talked about it's guitar driven, the album, and I personally love the lead guitars. Do you have them already in mind if you write the song? Or do they come overdub on the recording?
It can be both. Sometimes the kind of the leading melody, or well, most of the time the kind of the theme melody. It's really thought up before we. That's kind of the foundation. It can be the foundation of the song many times, but. At the same time, the kind of the how do you say, the glitter and the kind of the small cool things. Most of those are just done in the studios.
Euch gefällt die Folge? Ihr könnt uns unterstützen. Abonniert Thicker Than Blood auf dem Podcaster eurer Wahl. Erzählt euren Freunden von uns. Und was uns wirklich am meisten hilft, ist die einmalige Bewertung unseres Kanals. Stay heavy!
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the lyrics. Where do your inspiration for the lyrics come from? Is it from personal experience? Is it from fiction, philosophy? Where do you get your ideas?
All over the place, but the kind of one of the starting song for this new album, for example, it's influenced by a comic, Snoopy. Yeah, Snoopy. Yeah.
Your new album is inspired by Snoopy.
Yes.
Nice.
Wouldn't have guessed.
One Snoopy comic is like he just, the way he dances, like
yeah.
It's fall, and Snoopy watches a leaf fall from a tree, and it kind of makes this little dance, and then Snoopy makes a little dance, and then he says, "Thank you for the dance," and that's kind of it had like all the kind of it's bittersweet. The summer has ended. It's getting cold, but you can always dance. It's not all bad, and that was kind of like I remember seeing it, and something kind of clicked. But yeah, almost all of the stuff is somehow personal to some of us. It's not always me. Sometimes it is, but not always. It can be any one of the guys. We had all, because the album theme is kind of death and coping with it and coping with loss of any kind. We all kind of pitched in. Everybody has a connection to this theme. So we kind of gathered ideas from everybody and tried to have as much kind of different kind of perspectives to this theme as possible. So because you have a wide range of emotions that people go through. We try to kind of have it all, the whole spectrum.
Okay. Is there, perhaps you already answered the next question, but is there any lyrical line on the album that feels especially important to you?
Yeah, it's the thank you for the dance. That's kind of, I really like it. And yeah, it's a Snoopy line.
Okay. What led you to the decision to make an album about death and all its surroundings?
We are not kind of young guys anymore. The youngest ones of us are way past kind of 30s, and it's just not about the age. I think we just kind of had this period as a group where we had a lot of kind of death around. Relatives, friends, and we are frequently together, and we like spending really much enjoy spending time together, and we talk about all these sort of things when we get together. So naturally, this was one of the topics. Kind of at some point we kind of figured out, okay, this is kind of repeating itself, and that means that we have to have something to say about it. And that was kind of how it started. And although we talked about it, how it's maybe the biggest cliche in metal, but so what? That just means that it's a big issue, and it's okay to kind of tell your side of it. It was much easier topic than any of the previous things. Which were more like what is going on inside one's head or inside a group's kind of mind. This was more easier and natural.
Yeah, to face death, even if it's your own, can make you see life in a clearer way. I think so. And but what can we learn from death?
A good question. Well, you kind of said it. We can learn to live from death, kind of facing death. It kind of reminds us that I'm just spouting cliches, but it's kind of it's sometimes you have to be reminded about kind of why you are here. And fuck if I know what's the real reason, but you should try to make the most of it. Kind of not just. It's so easy to kind of get stagnant and to lose feel, and all the social media and kind of meta places to be can kind of take you away from the real life and kind of risk taking and that sort of stuff. You know, that all the things that really bring you kind of all the raw emotions. And maybe that's one thing, and it's kind of it's so kind of appreciate what you're doing right now, and well, it's just so big part of life, and every kind of people are different parts of the world. They have their own way of kind of coping with it, and I don't know if we. In Finland, it's still a taboo in some ways, talk about. It's a hard kind of. It's at some place of the world, people. It's more natural to talk about it. It's kind of a natural part of life, and of course, it's over here as well. But still, there's this certain. It's not easy to talk about it in here, and it's easier to be kind of silent.
Yeah.
As it is in a lot of in kind of most topics, we really appreciate people who don't talk too much over here. It's kind of a value in itself. But I'm rambling. But it was a hard kind of good question. Some thought process kind of.
Thank you. I have another.
Flowed.
Thank you. Thank you, Jaakko. I got another hard question. What is the meaning of life? I thought I'd give it a try. You don't have to answer this one.
Yeah. Well, of course, you kind of. That's the question you frequently kind of. It always comes back to you, and it's kind of. I think at this point, it's just to try to make even a small impact on kind of around you, and I mean a positive one, because that's kind of that is what most people can do, even if you are from kind of the starting cards are not that good, you can still kind of that's what you can do. So maybe that's my answer at this point. If you ask me in 2 years or 5 years, it's probably something else.
Nice. Thank you.
Jaakko, at the moment you're on tour in Finland. What does a normal tour day look like for Marianas Rest, from waking up to get on stage?
Well, our tours in Finland are like we are on gigs on weekdays mostly, and the time in the middle of that, it's just work day and handling other band business. But yeah, we take, for example, tomorrow we are going to Joensuu. Not tomorrow, on Friday, and so that means that we wake up earlier than normal. We go to work, and then we kind of the guys live in different cities. We have kind of a logistic nightmare. Our light tech comes from Estonia, from across the pond.
So he comes with the ferry.
Yeah, he comes with the ferry. Takes our guitar, bass player Niko takes him on his car. Comes to Lappeenranta from Helsinki, which is kind of near the east border, and then we drive along the border for several hours to reach Joensuu, and the other guys come from different directions. And then we do the gig, go to bed, wake up even more earlier, and figure out our way back to Helsinki for another gig. And that's kind of the normal routine in here in when doing gigs in Finland. And you kind of really fun, but of course kind of family, work, and doing all of this together. It's balancing things.
Yeah.
And we kind of doing shows is kind of it's the best things, one of the best things you can do. We really we are a live band. We like doing it, but the balancing is more kind of important, so you don't break yourself or break your family or get kicked out of your day job or something like that. But in a few months we are getting to do a couple of weeks during tour in Europe. So that's kind of more like how you, if someone asks you what's touring in a metal
you
band,
imagine of a tour,
that's kind of that's the stereotype thing, and we kind of get to do it with our great buddies from Eon and Sorrow, and actually there's a band from Germany, Wooden Veins, coming into the same bus as well. So kind of really looking forward to it.
Okay, so you already told us the best thing, of course, on tour is get on stage, play the live gig. But apart from playing music to your audience, what is the best part of touring and what is the worst part of touring?
I think hanging out with people who have come to watch the show and just kind of you are most of the time you're really relaxed after a show. You have this small period when you have to be alone after it, but then when it goes over, you kind of rewind yourself and just hang out with people. That's one of the things I really enjoy. But at the same time, you are not always in the mood. I'm not social all the time, and that's kind of when you are in that kind of place, then it can be a bit kind of chore, because you have to kind of handle things with people and talk with people most of the time. So that's, if you would rather be kind of like just in bed and with blanket over your head, then that's not an easy combo. But it's really rare.
Okay.
We get to do. We are not kind of on tour all the time, so you rarely get those vibes. You kind of take the most out of it all the time.
Okay.
But there's actually not much that I hate. You always kind of, something always breaks when you are traveling with the budgets that we are, and that's kind of last time the heater broke from our bus, and it was really cold outside, and after you kind of get sweaty on the show, you don't always have places you can shower, so you are just going sweaty into the bus.
And the cold bus.
In the cold bus, and it's like minus degrees inside. That's kind of can be. Of course, we all got sick when that kind of thing happened, like many days, several days on the tour. But those kind of stuff I could live without, but it's small complaints.
Yeah, but you already mentioned the topic I wanted to cover as well. As a singer, you're very much in the focus during the shows, but that also means you're very important. So what's your strategy for staying healthy on the road? Because it's difficult to change a guitarist or a bass player, but I think it's nearly not possible to change a singer.
Yeah, luck mostly is my strategy.
Just luck.
I should probably think about that kind of stuff more, but maybe someday. I'm just not the kind of type of guy. I'm not really. I don't like planning, even if it's not absolutely necessary, and so I just kind of hope that everything goes right. I don't. Well, of course, I try to. I don't drink shitloads of beer after every show because it's kind of it's not doesn't with my mileage it's not a good idea anymore. And just try to kind of warm up before shows. And but I don't do the kind of thing that when you cannot if you have to be in contact with people.
Yeah.
You cannot kind of escape it. If somebody has something and you catch it, then it's that you're just out of luck. And you have all sorts of kind of tablets and things that you can take to kind of get through a couple of hard days if you're feeling sick. But yeah, that's my strategy. There is no strategy.
Do you guys have pre-show rituals?
We have a kind of a group hug and well, I have the black contact lenses, the kind of that cover the whole eye. That's we have our other guitar player Harry. He always has to put them on because I can't do it myself. So that's our ritual. It's not a good ritual, but it has to be done. But no, we just try to kind of have a moment to ourselves before the show, just to kind of focus up and the most of the shows go in a kind of like in a haze. If everything goes well, you don't actually remember all of it or maybe any of it. It's just kind of like what happened. And then you're back at the backstage afterwards, and that's always a good sign. It went pretty okay if you're feeling like that.
Jaakko, what's the difference between your Finnish fans and the German ones?
The German ones bring us more beer.
Okay, so it's cheaper.
Yeah. And you know what we like, apparently.
Okay. So you're beer drinkers?
Beer. Yeah. I think actually German and Finnish people have a lot in common. At least people that come to our shows. You have more drinking horns with you.
Especially on festivals.
Yeah.
Speaking about festivals, do you plan some?
Yeah, we have like a number of those in Finland. Actually, I'm not sure if what's the situation concerning other countries, but hopefully we get to do at least a few of them this summer. We have something cooking already for the next year, but nothing to tell at this point.
You've been around for a while. How has your fan base changed over all the years?
Well, it has grown.
Getting older.
and gotten older. Yeah. And well, I think it's maybe more diverse than it was than when we started. We've noticed that there are more ladies in the crowd nowadays, which is well, I think it's a nice thing because I don't know why this should be a kind of like a gender thing. But there are a lot of kind of fans that have been there from the very beginning, which is a really cool thing. And I think that's one of the bigger things that separates metal communities from say pop people that listen to chart type of pop music. People kind of stick with you. You can even make a few really crappy albums and they still stick with you. They kind of people are loyal, and it maybe it's because it's more of like a lifestyle than just music. So yeah, really kind of that's one of the things in metal I love.
How do you keep the band relationship healthy when you're touring or besides of touring?
Yeah, we have a lot of fist fights.
Okay.
Well,
Tell us about.
Well, I'm the reigning champion.
Oh, nice.
I think we had a lot of luck, kind of, when forming the band. There's always luck involved. You cannot kind of.
It's still the beginning lineup, yeah.
Well, we had one change. Our bass player changed after the first album because kind of well, he had life that kind of was in the way of the band stuff. When he saw that this is probably going into a more professional direction, he kind of felt that it was a good point to give room for somebody else. But yeah, kind of you don't. Few of the guys knew each other from childhood, so they knew what the other guy was about. But I didn't know anybody that well when I joined the band, and well, you can't kind of when you start hanging out together, you can have all sorts of kind of surprises at some point. But we haven't had any. The kind of the dynamic has worked from the start really well, and it's kind of been really easy. Of course, we have our kind of sometimes we have our fights. I think they're mostly connected to we have our own chat rooms and that sort of stuff. And when you type your opinion on WhatsApp or some else application, it's easy to get things twisted. Somebody kind of doesn't get what you're trying to say the way you meant it, and then it's kind of everything goes to hell. So and when you kind of when we were doing the first albums for Napalm, which was kind of really, it came as a surprise to us that we got to such a big label. We had a lot to kind of learn, business wise and how what is involved in releasing an album for a label like that. So, and I think at that point we had our kind of the biggest arguments because there was a shitload of work and we had so little time, and there was always something that needed to be done, like for tomorrow, because we didn't know it, and we didn't know how to plan it back then. Now we do, but back then we didn't. And so we had, but we just kind of if you deal with those right away, you don't let them kind of start festering, then it's kind of no big deal. And that's what we have been trying to do. No big arguments. Happy sailing.
Okay, Jaakko, our quick fire round starts. So we ask you little questions, a few, and you say the first thing that comes to your mind. Ready?
No, but go ahead.
Okay, let's start. One tour item you can't live without.
Toothbrush.
Best and worst gig you've had. Gig food you've had.
The worst was soup. I don't know what was it about. It was too strange I don't know what was in it. And the best, well, we had a lot of very good gig foods. But I only remember the last good one. It was in Kuopio. We had really good kind of home style food back there. Which is always fun. Do pizzas and that sort of thing. They start coming out of your ears. Wow.
Okay. The most underrated band everyone should hear.
Advent Sorrow.
Got it. A song you wish you had written.
What's the Roxette song? The
Joyride.
No, the on Joyride, but it has these Spanish guitars in the middle.
What is it?
Damn.
I don't know. Spanish guitar.
Okay, I'll just say Sentence then Shade Grown.
Okay.
But the Roxette song was the I'm googling it. But you can go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead. Your go-to road playlist genre. You when you're not listening to metal genre.
Scooter. On tours, go to. I think Scooter is its own genre, so I'd say Scooter.
How much is the fish?
How much is the fish? Yeah, we have
the biggest
we do
myth.
Scooter saunas.
Okay. Biggest myth about being a touring band.
That it's all glamour and money.
Nice. So coming to the end, what's next after this album and this tour?
Well, hopefully a lot of gigs after this tour as well, and then starting to write new material. I think. Well, we have already started to get to do another album. I think this is pretty easy. You do an album,
album tour.
Yeah.
Life as a musician. Where should listeners start if they want to dive deeper into Marianas Rest?
Where should they start? I think the new album is a good place to start. It's it has kind of everything that we've evolved in, a lot of kind of different.
A message for your fans, and maybe for the people hearing you for the first time.
Well, hope to see on the road, so to say, and hope you dig the new album.
Okay, then perhaps as a finisher, finish the sentence. Marianas Rest is about
emotion.
Nice. Jaakko, good luck with the album, The Bereaved. I think it's a great one.
Thank you.
To all of our listeners who don't know Marianas Rest, take a try. It's cold outside. Time for some Finnish death metal. So, Jaakko, thank you for the dance.
Thank you. That's a good way to end
this episode. Yeah.
This episode. Not all everything, just this episode.
Okay, Jaakko. Thank you. Thank you for your time. And don't forget about Munich on your next tour.
We never forget about Munich.
Okay.
And the song, it was Things Will Never Be the Same. That was the Roxette. Yes.
Okay. So we cut it into places.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's important to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks a lot, Jaakko. Bye.
Thank you. This was fun. Thank you. Bye-bye.